Welcome to Settle's Bill Pay training. In this video, we'll walk through everything you need to get started using Settle to manage and pay your bills. You'll learn how to set up your account, create roles and approvals, and add and pay your payments. By the end of this session, you'll have the tools you need to confidently manage bill pay in Settle. The first step in using bill pay is to make sure your account is ready. You likely completed these steps when you first signed up, but if not, you will need to finish them in order to process payments. The key steps are completing your business information, adding your business owners, linking your bank account, and connecting your accounting software. On this last point, connecting your accounting platform ensures your data, like bills, payments, and vendors, are synced exactly between your systems. We'll walk you through how to do these workflows manually, but an integration automates that work. Taking the time to connect your accounting system now will keep your books accurate and your workflow moving forward. Once those steps have been completed, you're now ready to pay your bills. Let's start with your approvals. Here you can set who is able to approve and process bills and payments. Click Add New Rule to set up your first rule. We'll set up a rule related to our marketing spend. As you can see, you're able to control the trigger that will require each approval from the bill's amount, category, and more. On this rule, we'll set it so Maddie will approve any of the marketing bills. Hit Save to add this rule. For our next rule, we'll create a vendor-related approval. For this one, we'll set it so all bills from our vendor, Franklin Freight, require approvals. In this case, we'll first set it so Maddie approves the bill first, then followed by Robbie. Bill approvals ensure the required teammates sign off on the bill before it's able to be scheduled for payment. From here, payment approvals now allow you to control the actual payments before they are processed out. These work exactly like our bill approvals. For example, we'll require all bills over $10,000 to be approved by Charlotte. This means, regardless of what happens during the bill process, including whether or not the bill had an approval required, Charlotte will also be approving any and all payments for $10,000. These same controls are available for POs, ensuring they're approved before processing. Lastly, you can also add approvals at the individual bill level. This provides the flexibility to request approval on a bill that is complementary to your account-wide rules. Next, let's talk about vendors and all the ways they can be added to your account. First, we'll add a vendor manually by clicking Add Vendor. This vendor is Right Logistics. I'll set their business type to S Corporation. First, I'll input their TIN, and then their address. We'll add Jack as our POC, including his contact details. You'll see there is a lot you can configure about each vendor, but we'll dive into those details in a later video. For now, we'll just add their banking information so we can process a payment. Your second upload option is to let your accounting software input your vendor. Your third option is to import the vendor as you're adding a bill. I'll upload a bill and this vendor is flagged as new to my account. I'll add them to my vendor list by clicking this Add to My Vendors button. You'll also notice we have a network of verified vendors. If you added a vendor whose information matches a verified vendor we have in our network, you'll be prompted to connect their verified account. In this case, I am connecting Logistics for You to our vendors list. You'll see a match shows up for a verified account that matches Logistics for You in my results. Throughout Settle, you'll see these vendors identified by their green checkmark. These are vendors who have added their banking details to their accounts already. Now that we've taken care of a few setup items, let's add some bills. We're going to show you the 4 ways that bills can be added in Settle, including manually adding them, uploading them through a PDF import, through the Settle inbox, and via your accounting integration. First, we'll do a manual bill. Click Add Bill and Add Bill without attachment. Enter the vendor, the invoice number, the total due, and the invoice date. Set the pay to account based on the bank account we either added manually or which the vendor added if they're verified. Lastly, confirm the category. You'll see these options are pulled from our accounting integration in our chart of accounts. Since we have previous bills with this vendor, this has already been set. We're also tracking our POs in Settle, so we'll link an open PO to this bill. I'll close this bill for now as we'll review payments later. Now, let's upload a bill via the import option. Settle's OCR process will read in the details you'd otherwise add in manually. Once imported, we recommend you review the information before proceeding. You can also edit the information if you want to change the data on this bill. Next, let's look at Inbox. Your Settle Inbox provides an account-specific email where you can send bills. You'll see the inbox will alert you before you add bills if there is a potential duplicate bill. From here, you can import emails as bills. Similar to the upload option, Settle's OCR will scan the email to create the invoice. The inbox also provides some flexible options if you want to avoid the inbox altogether. For this, you can set up inbox bypass rules. As an example, we'll create a bypass rule so that any emails from Maddie are automatically moved to unscheduled bills. Bypass rules don't mean they're processed all the way through as payments. You're just saving yourself the step of converting these from emails to bills. You can also add bills via your accounting integration. Once the bill is imported, it will be waiting for you in your bills page to be processed as a payment, just like the other options. Now that we have some bills entered, let's cover payments. We'll show you how to use 8 different payment options. Specifically, we'll show you how to create the following kinds of payments: financed or bill pay, full and partial, standalone, recurring, bulk and consolidated payments, and payments made outside Settle. For our first payment, we'll quickly cover financed bills. Financing is only available for businesses who have received financing terms. We'll first show how this payment works, since most of the payment types we'll cover from here can be used with either financing or bill pay. We'll choose a bill from our unscheduled list. From Proceed to Payment, we'll select to finance this payment. We'll leave it at 100% since we're paying the bill in full. We're choosing Standard ACH and leaving the default account for our repayments. This portion of the bill isn't due yet, so we'll set the payment date out a few days. The extension dropdown reflects the terms we've been approved for, and we'll select which of the options we want to use for this bill. Based on this, we'll get the repayment schedule breakdown. Everything looks good to me, so I click Proceed. I'll agree to the terms by reviewing the disclosure, checking these 2 boxes, and then clicking Accept. If you need to reference it in the future, you can click on these 3 dots to download the financing agreement. For the rest of our examples, we'll just use standard bill pay with payment coming from our bank account. As we noted, you can use many of these same payment options with financed payments too. For our third payment type, let's do a split payment. We won't change anything on the bill itself, as adjustments will be made on the next page. Here, we'll split this into 30%, which we'll process via regular ACH. The payment will be pulled out of our default bank account. We'd toggle this setting on if we're ready to schedule out our next payment. For now, we'll just process the first portion of the invoice so I can show you where on the bills page you can see the scheduled and unscheduled transactions. Closing the confirmation page brings us back to the bill screen, where the split amounts now appear. Here, you can also track payment statuses across all of your scheduled bills in real time, from pending to processing and complete. For our fourth example, let's take a look at what we call standalone payments. I'm going to create the payment via the drop-down by this bill button. You'll see this option across pages within your account. First, I'll click Make Payment and choose the Pay Without Bill or Make Standalone Payment. Here, I'll select my vendor, input the payment amount, and set ACH as my payment method. From the drop-down, I'll choose the vendor's pay to account and leave my default bank account. The purpose code here will be marketing. I'll add a reference here of September 2025 design work, so my vendors see these additional details on the bank statement. The category for my AP tracking is marketing. I'll schedule out this payment a few days. On the calendar, you'll see an ETA showing the estimated time this payment will process to the vendor. Now I'll click Schedule Payment to queue this payment for disbursement on the payment date. For our fifth example, we'll create a recurring payment. I'm going to pull up the payment drop-down options again, and this time I'll select to set a recurring payment. This will be to Select Management Group for $2,500 via Standard ACH. I'll choose the default bank account for this vendor as well as leave our default bank account. This is related to our office lease, so I'll set property for our reason code. I'll add Brightbyte's monthly rent for our reference. The interval will be set to monthly, kicking off on September 15th. I know our rent is changing, so I'll set an end date of 9/16/2026. Scrolling down, I'll see the dates each payment will automatically process. From here, I'll schedule off these 13 recurring payments. I'll click View to show you where you can find all of your recurring payments within the Payments tab. I can cancel an ongoing recurrence, or if I click into one of the payments, I can also cancel an individual transaction before it begins processing. I'll simply click Cancel and confirm the cancellation. Now let's cover two quick time savers: consolidated payments and batched payments. First, let's cover what each does. Consolidated payments combine multiple bills for the same vendor into one payment. Batched payments schedule many payments at once, but process each bill as its own payment. Both reduce clicks and keep your payment runs tidy, but are used for different use case. First, we'll review consolidated payments. From the Bills tab, select multiple bills for the same vendor and choose Review and Pay. For this example, I'm going to include one of the split payments we made earlier in our demo as well. In the side panel, you can choose to remove a bill entirely or break a bill out to be an individual payment. For example, we'll have this bill paid separately by clicking the unlink icon to split it off. The remaining bills stay grouped as a single consolidated payment. From this screen, you can also edit any amounts and review the vendor's bank info. Otherwise, go ahead and click Proceed to Payment. Now we'll confirm the payment method and the Pay From account. We can also adjust the payment date if we decide to move this out. Finally, I'll click Schedule. Upon receipt, the vendor's remittance will clearly indicate the payment includes multiple consolidated payments. When viewing the payment, you'll see all of the associated bills for the one transaction. To wrap this up, remember that consolidation works when the bills share the same vendor, currency, and destination bank account and are paid via bill pay. Now, let's review batched payments. From the Bills tab, select any bills you want to pay. These can be across multiple vendors. As with consolidated payments, in the side panel, you can review or adjust amounts and banking details for each bill in the batch. Once ready, click Proceed to Payments. Now you can update one set of payment options which will apply across all of these individual payments. This means you can choose the payment method, your Pay From account, and the payment date. You can also review all of the associated payments. When ready, click Schedule Payments. Each bill is now created and processed as its own payment, even though you scheduled all of them at once. This saves time and clicks you'd otherwise use setting up these payments. Lastly, we'll cover tracking a payment made outside of Settle. This allows you to capture the full bill amount in your account, update it to reflect an amount paid elsewhere, to then process out the remainder due. I'll first click into an unpaid bill and click Add External Record. I'll set the amount I already paid against this total, as well as the method used. If I choose a bank-based method, I can also select the account I paid from as based on my default bank accounts. I can also add any additional references for tracking. I'll click the Add button to add this record. Upon viewing this record, I can see when it was added and who added it. If I need to remove it, I'll simply click Delete in the bottom left. Otherwise, back on the bill page, I'll see the record in the Payments tab for this payment. That wraps up our walkthrough of Settle's bill pay features. You've seen how to get your account ready, manage vendors, add and pay bills through a range of options. With these tools, you can streamline your payment process and stay on top of your expenses. Thanks for joining, and we're excited for you to use Settle to manage your bills with ease.